It don't stop. Keep on going. Even a hospital, guys, a hospital collapse in Turkey. You know what I mean? A hospital become a rubble in Turkey. Wait, let's get into it.
Where you are and what you're seeing.
Let's get into it. Badness.
Celia, this used to be the intensive care unit of one of the hospitals here in Iskenderun, and as you can see behind me, it is now about a 4-metre pile of rubble. This was, in amongst there you can see maybe bits of pink paper, of white paper. Those are medical documents. We also can see surgical gloves. There are parts of ambulance beds, parts of hospital beds. And we know from the rescuers here that they believe there were about 300 people that were in the hospital at the time when the earthquake hit. That would be a mixture of patients, of medical staff, of visitors as well. And they're not entirely certain how many of those people made it out. There is still an attempt at a rescue effort here. We've spoken to people, 3 different families, who say that there are 3 nurses that they believe are still inside.
That's so mad, man. That is just like, wow. Mind blowing, man. Just to imagine that, you know. Just to imagine that. Families, anything we can do for these people, believe me, man, it would be well appreciated. I'm talking to the whole world right now. You understand? I'm talking to the world and around, you know, England, America, Jamaica, Canada, you know what I mean, China. They need it. They need it. It's just so bad, man.
At the moment, but they of course are not certain whether or not they will have survived. It is now over a week on, and there has been heavy machinery here throughout the morning that we've been here trying to move some of this rubble away, but it is just an incredibly difficult and very precarious task trying to find anyone who might still be inside.
Kerry, 1 week on, are you seeing any kind of pattern emerging between the buildings that didn't sustain very much damage and those that have collapsed entirely?
I think it's a really good question, because when you walk around different cities, particularly as you get closer to the epicenter, it is not the case that every single building has collapsed. Some are still standing with cracks in, some might have partially subsided, and some, like this hospital unit, have been completely destroyed. Standing just behind me, this is another part of the hospital that was a more modern part according to people who live here. This was an older part that had been renovated. And now, just to be entirely clear about what we've seen this morning, we have seen a report on this hospital from the Health Ministry's website. It's from 2012, and it says that the earthquake report for this building came back negative. Now, that was in 2012, over 10 years ago. People here have been sharing that report and have been getting increasingly angry at the fact that this was known, according to this report, to not be a building that could withstand an earthquake. That this was something that had already been flagged over a decade ago, and yet now there are many, many lives that have been lost in the rubble here. People who have families are still waiting, hoping that there might be some form of news. But there is real anger growing that there were certain things that had been flagged up in cases like this, but nothing had necessarily been done.
Speaking of anger, we're also hearing of discontent among some in Turkey who are saying that they don't think that aid is being distributed equally. Are you hearing anything about that?
I think that there are certain areas that seem to have managed to get sort of international rescue efforts. But yes, as people have been talking to us, some people feel that that they haven't seen enough aid reaching them, that many people here, for example, had said that they had in fact, they claimed that they paid for these construction manufacturers, these machinery, to come in to try to help with the rescue effort. They said that they hadn't seen people coming to help from authorities either. Now, as I've been driving through and walking through these different areas in these different cities, you can see that
the government, you don't care for the people, them. Government of Turkey, and you don't care for the people, them. No loving and no heart. You don't face no judgment, man. You should face it. The people them is going through all that and have to be paying for machines to come to remove rubble to find their loved ones. That is not right.
There is aid. You can see that there are the presence of the Turkish authorities here. There are vans that are giving out food. There are temporary shelters that are being put up.
Right,
but some people feel that they have not had enough support. And of course, we are now over a week on. Many people have spent that amount of time living outside in these tents with freezing conditions. And many are asking now, what happens next? Where do we go to? What can we do when we are still not, might not have homes to go to? Those buildings that are still standing, people feel very nervous about going back into them.
Family, we're going to leave it there for now, yeah? So, I'm begging you guys to send out some prayers for all these people as well, you understand me? Send some prayers out there for people, them that losing them family there, you know? Help them to find somewhere to live, you understand me I say? Keep them strong, you understand me I say? Let's send some prayers and that out for them as well. Understand me? As whatever else we can do. But pray for them families, you know what I mean? And we're there again, Dr. Cookie. Real Chatterbox. Don't forget the milk. You don't know anything said. One more time we soon come back again.